Hello students, today is Tuesday 27th of August and I am trying to unfold the most important stories which happened yesterday nationally and internationally. If we talk about the national news, for the last few days you would have been listening about Chidambaram's arrest. I mean, if I can tell you the perspective behind or the facts behind, the bail application was rejected by the High Court, then it was moved to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court did not decide to listen to that bail application, and then meanwhile he was arrested by CBI and ED. Now what is CBI? CBI is a Central Bureau of Investigation, which is a central agency which does only the investigation and involved in the prosecution. Similarly, ED is an agency which looks after the economic offences. These two are the central agencies, and you must understand this. Though law and order is a state subject, but then these are the central agencies which looks into criminal offences as well as economic offences. There is one more agency which does this job, which is National Investigation Agency, which is NIA, which basically focuses on the investigation of the terrorist thing. So the difference between the central agencies and the state agencies, that must be understood, and law and order and this maintenance of order, it is basically primarily the subject of the state. Another thing is whether the arrest can be made at this stage. Arrest can be made in the cases where the non-bailable offences would have been committed, or where the arrest is necessary for conducting investigation. Mind it, this is a time where interrogation is happening, investigation is not yet complete, the charge sheet has not yet been filed, the charges have not been framed, and the trial has not yet started. And whenever the trial will begin at the trial court level, which we can call the lower level or the subordinate judiciary level, which cannot happen under criminal law. No trial can directly happen in High Court and Supreme Court. High Court and Supreme Court can be approached only in exceptional cases for some relief, but trial will happen in the lower court, right? Another important story that we find that this G7 summit has started in France. G7 is the group of 7 developed countries of the world, which include United States, Canada, UK, France, Germany, Italy and Japan. Right. So, there is just one country from Asia, which is Japan. India is not a member of G7, since India is a developing country, but India has been invited in G7 as an invited member, right. So, so there is no direct participation of India in the main deliberations, but then if we look into as to what are the issues being discussed. So, Brexit is one of the major issues which is being discussed in G7. Brexit is about the exit of the UK from European Union, but nothing substantial has come out, and Britain, the Prime Minister of Britain has made this announcement that deal or no deal, we are not going to be affected by that. Then the primary interest for us is the India-Pakistan relation, which is reflected in G7. So, only India is there as a special member, as an invited member. Pakistan is not there, and the US President has again changed his stand. Earlier he was talking about mediation between India and Pakistan. Now, sitting by the side of the Prime Minister, he says that this Kashmir is a bilateral issue which India and Pakistan themselves should resolve, which is a big change in the stand of the US President, though we are not sure whether the US President will again change his stand or not, because he is known for changing the stand. But this is something good for India. But then if we further look into this India, Pakistan and America, this triangle and this relationship, America or the US cannot ignore Pakistan these days, because it is trying to exit from Afghanistan and it is negotiating a deal with Taliban, and the success of this deal depends on the cooperation that Pakistan extends to US. On the other hand, US needs India because India is a major trade partner, and Trump is asking Prime Minister Modi to give certain concessions as far as import of the US goods in India is concerned. So, if in this deal India does the favor to the US which Trump is looking for, then India is at a winning situation. If Pakistan extends the desirable cooperation to the US to exit from Afghanistan, then Pakistan will be a winner. But the role of the Trump as a US president is to maintain a balance between India and Pakistan, and particularly if you could notice the change in the tone of the Prime Minister Modi's speech yesterday. Yesterday he was talking about harmony with Pakistan. He said that before 47 both the countries were one and both have the same issues, both have to fight poverty, both have to fight for better education, better health facilities. So this indicates that India and Pakistan can again come closer, recently there was a snapping of ties or reduction of the ties, diplomatic and political, which can again be reversed with the intervention of the US. So even if the US is not mediating, US intervention is going to happen to bring India and Pakistan closer on the negotiation table. That is all in this edition for today.